Imagine a civilization so advanced, so powerful, that it ruled the ancient world. And then, in a single day, it vanished. No traces, no survivors, just a legend passed down for thousands of years. This is the story of Atlantis, the lost continent described by the Greek philosopher Plato over 2,400 years ago. A city of concentric rings, rich in gold and silver, with technology beyond its time, that sank into the ocean after a catastrophic flood. But here's the question that has haunted historians for centuries. Was Atlantis real? Or just a cautionary tale? A myth to warn future generations about hubris and greed? Plato described Atlantis as larger than Libya and Asia combined, with a powerful navy, advanced engineering, and a society that rivaled ancient Egypt. Yet no physical evidence has ever been found, until now. In this video, we'll explore the most compelling theories about Atlantis' location, from the volcanic eruption that destroyed the Minoans, to the Azores, where Portuguese sailors swore they saw the ruins of a lost city, and even Antarctica, where ancient maps suggest a civilization thrived before the Ice Age. But first, let's go back to the beginning. What did Plato really say? And why has this mystery endured for millennia? The origin of the myth. The first and only ancient mention of Atlantis comes from a single source, the Greek philosopher Plato, writing around 360 BC. In his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Plato describes Atlantis as a powerful island civilization with concentric rings of land and water, advanced engineering, and a society richer than any of its time. But here's the catch. Plato wrote about Atlantis 1,200 years after the events he described. According to Plato, Atlantis was a naval superpower, located just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, that waged war against ancient Athens. Its capital city was a marvel of engineering, concentric rings of land and water, temples plated in gold and silver, and a canal system that connected the entire island. Plato even gave us exact measurements. But here's where it gets strange. First, the timeline doesn't add up. Plato claimed Atlantis existed 9,000 years before his time, but 9,600 BC was the Stone Age. No writing, no metal tools, no grand cities. Second, the location is debated. Plato said Atlantis was beyond the Pillars of Hercules, but modern theories place it everywhere from the Azores to the Caribbean. And third, no physical evidence has ever been found. Not a single artifact, ruin, or inscription that says Atlantis was here. So why did Plato invent Atlantis? The leading theory? It was a moral allegory, a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, hubris, and divine punishment. Plato's Athens was in crisis, and Atlantis may have been a mirror to warn his fellow citizens. If you become like Atlantis, you too will fall. But what if Plato wasn't just telling a story? What if he heard fragments of a real disaster, like the eruption of Thera, which destroyed the Minoan civilization, or a flood that submerged an island near Egypt? In the next chapter, we'll explore the most compelling theories about where Atlantis might be hiding, and the new evidence that could change everything we know. scientific theories. Theory 1. Santorini, Greece. The eruption of Thera. The most famous theory places Atlantis near the Greek island of Santorini, where a catastrophic volcanic eruption in 1600 BC destroyed the Minoan civilization. The evidence? First, the timeline matches. The Minoans were a sophisticated society with palaces, art, and trade networks that rivaled Egypt. Second, the disaster was apocalyptic. The eruption of Thera triggered a tsunami that devastated nearby Crete and may have inspired Plato's story of a city swallowed by the sea. But here's the problem. Santorini is tiny, nowhere near the size Plato described, and no underwater ruins have been found that match Atlantis's grand design. Theory 2. The Azores, Portugal, the Atlantic link. What if Atlantis wasn't in the Mediterranean, but in the middle of the Atlantic? The Azores, a Portuguese archipelago, have been linked to Atlantis since the 19th century. Local legends speak of a lost island between the Azores and America, and in 2025, sonar scans revealed rectangular structures near São Miguel Island. The evidence? First, ancient maps. Portuguese sailors in the 1500s reported seeing ruins in the area, but no formal records exist. Second, geological anomalies. Some rocks near the islands look man-made, but geologists argue they're natural. And third, Plato's description of Atlantis's location, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, could be a misinterpretation. The Azores were the edge of the ancient world. Theory 3. The Bahamas or Antarctica, the extreme hypotheses. From the Bahamas to Antarctica, some researchers have proposed radical locations for Atlantis. Bahamas, a Bimini Road. In 1968, divers off the coast of the Bahamas discovered the Bimini Road, a submerged rock formation that looks like a man-made road or harbor. But geologists argue it's a natural beach rock formation, and dating shows it's only 2,000 years old, far too recent for Plato's Atlantis. Antarctica, the Hapgood theory. Then there's Antarctica. In the 1950s, Professor Charles Hapgood proposed that Atlantis was an Antarctic civilization, destroyed when the poles shifted, freezing the continent. The evidence? The Peary Race map, which seems to show Antarctica's coastline before ice covered it, and ancient texts describing a warm, fertile land in the south. But the problems? No archaeological evidence has been found, and Hapgood's pole shift theory is highly controversial. New evidence in 2026. Modern technology, sonar, and AI. In 2026, technology is rewriting the Atlantis mystery. First, underwater sonar scans. In 2025, a Portuguese-American team discovered rectangular structures near the Azores, aligned in ways that don't match natural formations. Second, AI analysis of ancient texts. Researchers at Cambridge used machine learning to study Plato's dialogues and found patterns suggesting Atlantis was a composite of multiple disasters, including the Thera eruption and a flood in Egypt's Nile Delta. The Nile Delta theory, Egypt. The Nile Delta theory is gaining traction. Satellite images from NASA reveal a submerged island near Alexandria, where a city matching Plato's description could have existed. The evidence? First, the timeline. A massive flood around 1200 BC submerged parts of the delta, just as Plato described. Second, the connection to Egypt. Plato wrote that Atlantis invaded Egypt, and the Nile Delta was Egypt's weakest point. the future of research. So where do we go from here? In 2026, 3 major expeditions are planned. 1. A Portuguese-led dive near the Azores using new sonar tech. 2. An Egyptian-American team exploring the Nile Delta ruins. And 3. A controversial Antarctic mission searching for pre-Ice Age ruins. Will we finally solve the mystery of Atlantis? Only time and the ocean will tell. After 2,400 years, the mystery of Atlantis endures. Was it a cautionary tale from Plato? A lost Minoan colony near Santorini? A Portuguese secret in the Azores? Or something even more extraordinary? Here's what we know for sure. Plato's story has some basis in real events. Modern technology is closing in on possible locations, and the search for Atlantis teaches us about humanity's greatest questions. Where do you think Atlantis is hiding?